Jeremy Lyman, welcome to my living room.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a lovely living room, I must say.
Oh, thank you. I love your space a little better though, because I love the brick wall and the lighting. It's really cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
um,
so Jeremy,
I'm,
you are the CEO of Birch Coffee.
I am, and I'm, yeah, the co-founder, CEO. We don't love titles, but that's what
I
that's.
feel the same way about my company. I feel like such an ass, and I'm like, I'm a CEO. I'm like, yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, but it's what's interesting about it is that if you just say that you're the owner, it doesn't necessarily clarify like what your role is. And so I think that's why we started to use them, even though half the time I'm just like, well, there's a plumbing pipe there's a pipe that needs to be fixed. I'm just gonna go fix it. Um, that's just what it is. But yeah, that's I'm the CEO. My business partner is the COO. Handles a lot of the operations. So, and then we have a CFO. So
Very
yeah,
cool.
all the C's and the O's.
Yeah. Well, before we dive into what you're doing, because I think it's really cool how you banded together with other coffee outlets in the city, talk to me
Yeah.
about your company, Birch Coffee.
So we started the company a little over 10 years ago. I was in the restaurant industry for quite some time. Not really coffee, but I loved hanging out in coffee shops and spending time in coffee shops. So yeah, it took us a couple years to just like put a plan together and raise enough money, and but we did it because the gap we saw in the coffee market was the approachability to specialty coffee. So if you're familiar, if like you go into like a specialty coffee shop and you don't know what something is, sometimes you'll kind of get looked at in a certain way where it's like, what do you mean you don't know? Right. So we wanted to kind of create this level of approachability to it. My partner and I are also, because we came from service, we're obsessed with service and customer service. So I like to call it I have a frontline obsession. Like I have an obsession with the staff, like working behind the counter, working just on the register, how they're greeting, how they're engaging people. We're usually the first people that people speak to in the morning, right? You get up, you don't really find yourself talking to many people. And then you go to a coffee shop and then you engage with a barista. And I think we have the ability to really set somebody's tone for the balance of the day. And so we believe it's our responsibility to do our best to put somebody, on the best path. And, we like to, when we're doing training, we like to say, nobody has the intention of coming into a coffee shop and getting into a fight with a barista. Nobody does. But if somebody doesn't get what they want, if somebody is talked to in a way that they find, a little bit abrasive, that's what happens. So we talk a lot about empathy and training. We talk a lot about just kindness and how we're engaging people, and we're getting people what they want, because ultimately that's like they're what keeps us going. They're what keeps us in business. So our focus is very much on customer service. Where we find ourselves, the product is great. Don't get me wrong, the coffee is excellent, but you can get a lot of really good coffee throughout the city. So where we like to stand out is just our level of service. So that's why we started, and that's also I think what's kind of kept us going and propelled us. So we're all over, but we're in good spots that there's a lot of residential and also a mix of commercial. And so some of our spaces are really small, some of them are bigger. So there's a really nice mix. We try to focus on smaller stores because we're able to kind of connect a little bit more. We're also there's a lot of things we do technology-wise, which allows us to have a smaller footprint, but it also enables us to open more of them.
Yeah.
Because it'll cost us a lot less to build a smaller store. So we have a store that's like 220 square feet, which is pretty small.
Wow. Are you operating right now?
We are not. So the stores are there. We like to say that service is suspended. We're not closed. We're just suspended service. That's it. So they're currently not functioning. Our roasting operation in Queens and Long Island City, that is in full swing. It's obviously not out, putting out as much coffee as we're used to. But we have a presence online. So birchcoffee.com, people can go actually buy coffee. We're doing free shipping for right now. Sales have they've gone up substantially. But it's keeping us roasting, and we're doing other things too, which we can probably talk about as well.
Yeah, because I know we came together because I got pitched, I guess, through your PR, how you have banded together with other coffee shops around Manhattan to raise money and awareness for what we're going through right now. So talk to
Yeah.
us all about that program.
So NY loves coffee. That's the initiative. It was kind of put together by this company that we do work with. They do a lot of our logistics and our ordering for us, and they work with a lot of other coffee shops. And I guess what they kind of saw was we were all really itching to just do something and give back. And so they helped facilitate this bit of a union, this initiative where we have a presence on our site. We also have a presence on their site. And what we're doing is we're selling coffee. Like you could go and buy 10 cups of coffee for a hospital. And so then what we do is we deliver it, we brew it, and we drop it off. Sometimes people can only take ground coffee, so we drop off ground coffee. So we're doing that as much as we can. And what it's doing is it's helping people on the front line. It's also helping us to kind of keep some level of, revenue flowing in so that we're able to, obviously we want to come back stronger than ever. And so we're just trying to do that to keep things moving.
Do you have any cool stories about where your coffee has landed?
So yeah, what we're doing, so there's a lot of different things that are happening, right? So a lot of times coffee is being brewed off-site, at a roast house or at a small outpost coffee shop. It's being picked up and it's being dropped off at hospitals all over the city. And that's what New York Loves Coffee is really helping to facilitate. And they're really doing an awesome job. What we're also doing is my company separately is, and also with the help of New York Loves Coffee, is we're raising awareness by actually bringing a mobile coffee shop to hospitals. So what we've done is I went to Home Depot, I got a generator because I needed power. And we happen to have, we've used it in the past for catering, is a small espresso machine on a cart, and we cart it around, throw it in the back of our truck, set up a generator outside, and we start making cappuccinos and lattes and iced coffees. And I think for us, it's not just about getting a cup of coffee, it's about the interaction, right? Because it's something we're so used to. It's something that I look forward to. I mean, your email this morning was basically like, I'm going to make my coffee.
Aww.
And then I'm going to be talking all, right? So it's part of our lives. It's part of, I think 9 out of 10 people, I would say, if you ask them, like one of the first things they do is I get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Right. It's what fuels us. And so there's so many people that are going, who are being basically forced into this situation where their lives are a lot more at risk than they were before. And we think it's our responsibility to try to fuel them as much as we can. So what's funny is we like to say we can't see people smiling, but we know that they're smiling, because everyone's wearing masks. So if you look at somebody's eyes when they smile, they squint a little. Squint a little bit. So it's funny. You can kind of tell when people are smiling. But for us, it's been like the most beautiful experience. And just watching people stop and pause for 5 minutes. That pause for me is everything.
I hope you're documenting this and taking really cool pictures.
Yeah, we're taking tons of photos. We're taking a lot of pictures. And then, we're also, what we're doing is, a lot of the other companies, they're brewing tons and tons of coffee, and they're just getting delivered to different hospitals. I think they're going to Elmhurst today, which has been, one of the hardest hit. So yeah, we're just going to keep, we have to rely on decent weather unless we're given a space inside, inside somebody's, inside the hospital, which we did yesterday. We went up to the Harlem hospital and
Wow.
they gave us their lobby, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And they had tape on the floor, and everyone was lined up. But you know, the guys from New York Loves Coffee was there, and Dough Donuts was there, and it was awesome.
Was the
And
hospital bustling? Was it very busy?
so we were in a section that was closed off to, like, it was a main entrance, but it was closed off to the public for I'm sure for obvious reasons. So they had everyone come, and they were just calling people down from, you know, in different time slots, because we only have one espresso machine, and so it takes a little while to make everything. So but we were able to serve probably about 150 people. But it was just like this, it was just this break that people can get. And I think with all these places throughout the city closed, people don't have the opportunity to do that. And so, yeah, we're just trying to do something, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
So for people watching, how can they help you? How can they donate?
So people can go to nylovescoffee.com, and there is a bunch of different coffee shops that they can support. They can also go to we just got this URL, Birch Loves NY. So people can go to that one, and that'll bring you directly to the link where people can buy coffee for fueling the front line. And that'll just allow us to just keep doing what we're doing. And yeah, we think it's our responsibility, but it's also, I love doing it. And I miss running the company. I miss being behind the register and engaging customers and talking to people. And so for me, it reminds me of why I got into this in the first place. It's been amazing, but just to see the level of gratitude that people have for us, for us just showing up and doing what we're doing, it's just like, this is the least that we can do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love coffee, and I love most people, right?
You are in New York, so you get every walk of life, I'm sure.
Right.
So.
For sure. Yeah. So tomorrow, actually, we're going to. So I mentioned I have 2 pit bulls. So I volunteer over at the animal shelter, which is in Manhattan. And so, one of my friends from there reached out and said, hey, we have tons of volunteers, tons of employees, no volunteers, because volunteers can't go. And so would you mind setting up one of your coffee carts? I said, of course I would. So we're going to go to the animal shelter tomorrow and just give them some respite.
That's great.
So it's been great. And everybody has been so awesome. People are reaching out left and right, people from hospitals, and people have been, I think, a lot more, the regulations have been a little bit more lax, as far as, like, people are just like, yeah, come on. And so they give us an opportunity to do it. So, it's just, we're trying to make the best of the situation, which is, it's not ideal, but it's what it is. That's what it is.
So I have a question beyond what you're doing, because as I mentioned to you off camera, I'm in Manhattan all the time with work and everything. What is it like right now?
So it really depends on where you are. There's not a lot of traffic, I will tell you that, because when I do drive out to the office to pick up the van, I haven't sat in traffic in the last month. I live near Costco, so there are people. There's lines, crazy lines. It's not what it typically looks like. It just isn't. And I don't know if it'll ever, we don't know what it's going to look like on the other side of it. It's not, but we also think it's important that people are just kind of observing the shelter in place and staying in.
Yeah.
I in the beginning, I'd say a month ago, I saw a lot more people in parks, and I see that less. So that's just from, from an outside perspective, like that's kind of what it looks like. There's certainly much fewer people. But it's really sad to just be driving down Second Avenue and seeing literally there's businesses that are boarded up because people weren't sure as to, like, I mean, who knows what's going to happen down the road. So there's literally like plywood on top of windows. So and then you see like a little bodega operating, or a little coffee shop operating, or just to go only and stuff like that. So it's kind of mixed, but it's certainly different, but that's just what it looks like, and I think mentality wise, everyone's just all over the place, and there are days where people wake up and they're just like feeling really, really down, and others people just and sometimes it takes time for it to just settle in, like this is what it is. But it's about just the mentality of just, nothing is ever certain in life, right? In general, and so, but this is just this added layer of uncertainty. So, I'm trying to keep the most upbeat and positive attitude. And that's why, like, when I'm doing this service, I'm not thinking about, oh my God, what am I going to do here? I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm thinking about just being of service. So that's another part of the goal, is it helps me just not think about me and my company and what are we doing and all this stuff. So
I love, that's such a good lesson.
Yeah.
With this, and then in general too, because everybody's like obsessed with themselves. Sometimes you just get, and it's always like me, but if you look outward, then the me can grow.
Well, right. There's a saying, and I'm not a religious person, but it's God fixes me when I'm not looking. It's when I'm just not trying to hold on to and fix everything and just change this and change that. It's my control is very limited. So the most amazing, there's the magic is when you're uncomfortable, and there's like, that's really when the magic happens. And I've experienced it firsthand, and it's just when I'm not trying to just hold on and change everything and just, it's got to go my way, or it's not.
I know it's very hard for an entrepreneur to adopt that lifestyle, because I know too, because when you own your own business,
yeah,
you have a hand in every single aspect, and you are kind of God, right? Controlling everything, pulling the puppet strings, and we don't know where to pull anymore.
Right. Well, I mean, this is just another lesson. This is going to be another lesson that I'm going to be able to talk about on the other side, and just how, okay, this is how we navigated it, because there's no playbook. There's no playbook. You can go pick up a book on how to do your payroll, and that's the dog. I don't know if you heard that.
I hear the dog, but it's okay. It just, it's very casual, so it doesn't matter.
There's books on how to be a better salesperson and marketing, all these things. There's no book that you can go into any bookstore right now and it's like how to survive a pandemic, how to have your business survive a pandemic. It's not. So it's just, everything is just minute by minute, and it's just ever changing. And as difficult as it is some days, it's also, it's super rewarding, because I'm able to just maybe, focus on things that I wasn't able to focus on. And I'm spending a lot more time with my dogs. That's a positive thing. And I'm reconnecting with people that I haven't necessarily connected with in quite some time. And just, sharing what we're doing. And it's been different. It's different. It's just very different than what we're used to. And so it's but it's been great, and it's what you make of it, right? So it's like, it's very easy to just sit there and be like, ugh. But I can't do that. No. I can't do that. I still get up early. Like I was getting up, I usually get up at like 5 o'clock every morning, go to the gym and go to the office. And now I'm sleeping into like 5:45. I'm still getting up, like I'm still getting up early. I'm still doing my thing and going about my day. And 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 it's also okay if I sit at home and just watch 2 hours of whatever it is that I'm watching on Netflix, or
It is.
I think I'm rewatching Game of Thrones. So it's okay.
Yeah.
I think there's like this pressure that people are putting on themselves because of what other people are saying. It's like, oh, if you're not writing a novel, or you're not learning a new trade or skill, like
You're doing it wrong.
you're doing it wrong. You're handling this pandemic wrong. It's like, no, I'm not. As long as I get through it, make it through to the other side, I've done it right. I've done it the best that I could. So I think that's the mentality.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. We're doing the best we can. We're trying to do the right thing by everybody, and also what we think is just like the right thing to do. So yeah.
Well, you're doing a great job. I cannot wait for Manhattan to open back up so I can come visit you. I'll let you know when I do.
Please do. You have my email address. We'll
Yes.
have coffee. We'll sit face to face, like
yes, exactly.
within 3 feet of each other, right? It'll be a nice break from the current norm.
Yes.
So,
well, Jeremy, really quick, just give your website one more time.
So my website is birchcoffee.com, or Birch Loves NY is where people can go for the hospital donations, and also NY Loves Coffee. And if you want to follow New York Loves Coffee, it's _NY Loves Coffee _ on Instagram. And then you'll be able to access just all the different coffee shops that we've kind of been working with, and because we all want to come through it on the other side. And unfortunately, we've been seeing in the news, not a lot of people are just like, no, we're not reopening, and it's been really sad.
Yeah.
So we want to thrive when we get through this, and so we're gonna do everything we can in order to make sure that we continue doing the right thing, and that's that.
All right. Well, Jeremy, this was so fun. Have fun with your dogs. And we'll
Thank
see
you so
soon,
much.
hopefully.
Of course. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.